Hey everybody, today is going to be episode number 2, a continuation of what we did yesterday, and we're going to make it responsive and we're also going to do the footer. So let's get right into it. Let me hide this. Okay, so today we are going to build the footer as well as making this section responsive. So if we go into Webflow, let's see what we have here. So again, to review, we have a 2-column grid, and then inside the 2-column grid, we have a grid with 2 columns and then an image wrapper, and then we have a text wrapper, and then on the other side, it's the exact same thing. The way we were able to build this right here, this image wrapper just has a left padding with a border on that side. Okay, so let's see how we're looking for the responsiveness on desktop. I would say it looks okay. I think that, yeah, I would say it looks okay for desktop. Definitely if we go into tablet, this is going to go into one column. So we're just going to delete one column. And right off the bat, I can tell that we have an issue with, we're able to see this left border on this side, but we don't see it on that side. And it's because we had to put a 20 margin right because we weren't able to put it on the section. So we're going to take off the 20 margin right and put 20 margin left. And that should take care of that. Yeah, let me just make sure that by taking that off, usually it cascades down, so yeah. Yep, still there. So we're good on that. And it does look pretty good. It's just the spacing in between the two divs right here look a little small. I'm going to try to kind of keep it consistent with what I did up here. So let's see what I did. So it's 20. This might be 16. It is, yeah. So let's do it for 20, or it would be this, 20. Okay, perfect. Everything looks pretty good. I'm thinking that it just still, this space might be a little bit too big. Let's use the X-ray mode and see where this is coming from. So 130. Let's see what I used up here, where this is coming from. 130, so yeah, that would be good. Just as long as it's consistent throughout the whole thing. Okay. So that looks fine. Let's go on to the next breakpoint. Okay. I would say right off the bat, this margin might be time for it to go. And also the border on the left side. I don't really think we need it. I mean, we could just try to put, something like 20 and see how it looks, but maybe even 10. You know what? How about we keep the 35, but we make these to be not side by side and kind of take off a column like this. And let's put this first. Yep. So that looks a lot better. And then this is going to be first also. And let's see. I think it would look better if it was centered. So let's try to work on that. Okay. Let's see. It looks like this spacing is a little bit too big. I think, yeah, the height is a defined height, so you can try to do 200. Looks a little bit better. Trying to think if this looks weird. I just don't think it's necessary to keep it. So let's just get out of it for now. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks fine. We'll make sure, before I forget, the spacing is super off because it's viewport width. There's a problem. So let's just try, not 0, but let's try -2 looks pretty good. Okay, so I like this. Right off the bat, it seems like they don't match in terms of the size. So I don't know where it might be coming from this that I have defined. Yeah. Let's just put none and see what kind of happens. None. So that makes it huge. Is that better? Left side. I'm not sure. Let's just go back. So Command Z, Command Z. Is it off? I think it's off. Does this have a defined? I don't think so. Okay, we'll come back to that. And then also, before I forget, we'll put this image wrapper and take off the left border. And we'll do this one. So all we're going to do is put it into the center, center, and then this left column grid, center, and then we made this 200. Yeah, the class did it for us. And then this should be something like 40 or 20. The gap in between. So 40 is good to keep it consistent. I like the look of it. Okay. And now we just need to figure out what we're going to do for this spacing. If I can't figure it out, then we'll move on. But let's try to think through this, because this doesn't have this is just in the center, and it doesn't have a width. So if I go, let's just try to put it as auto and then none, which makes it big, and way to the left, to the right. Command Z, Command Z. Okay. Well, I like how it looks. Just ideally, it would be better if it was perfectly matched up. But I'm going to play with that later. And then tomorrow when I make the video, we'll go through and I'll tell you what I found out. The spacing should be good up here because the classes made it. So right here is 90, and I'm pretty sure everything else on the site is 90. Yeah. And that's something to be watch out for, is to make sure all the sizing is the same on each breakpoint. It's good to plan out also, but this looks pretty good. And then we're not going to have to do very much for the mobile. Let's see. Yeah, it looks really good. It just this, okay. So I really like how it kind of sizes down. The thing that is weird though is that this side has, oh, that might be why the other breakpoint's weird. Because, okay, so if we go to the left side, this one has 20 margin left. So if I take off of that, okay, that did not work. Let me just go to this side and see where this is coming from. So yeah, so let's take this off. Man, why does that happen? Okay, so let's just go back and then delete it, a column. Okay, so now we don't have any of the padding. It kind of looked better with the padding, so maybe I should just put it on both sides as opposed to taking it off. So what I mean is just put 20 margin right, and then that might fix the other breakpoint. So that looks good. And then same thing with this one. So 20 margin left, and then we'll do 20 margin right. And that looks nice. I like how that looks. And then let's try to do that on this one to see if that helps, because we don't need the other side. Let's see the image wrapper. Nope. Okay. So yeah, that looks good. Everything looks really nice. I like how it looks super spaced. It responds on everything. There's no overflow or anything. It on this breakpoint for the phone, it matches. When it gets bigger, it doesn't. So that's the thing throwing me off that I'm gonna look into. I can't. Let me know in the comment if you know why. But is there padding on this one? No. But it looks good. Everything looks good. Everything. So this is how it would look on the phone. with everything else. Looks really nice. One thing to think about would be the spacing. We might need a little bit bigger gap between the two. So this would be the full 2-column grid. Let's try 40. I think that looks a lot better. There's a padding of 50. That might be a little bit too much, and I might even take it off. Okay, no. Do I have another padding? No. Okay, that looks good. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to build the footer.